Let's talk about complex sentences. Now, last week we talked about compound. So, in compound sentences, you were taking two independent clauses or two simple sentences that could stand by themselves if they were separated, and you were combining them using a comma and a conjunction or using a semicolon. Now, this week, we're moving on to complex sentences. Complex sentences are taking one independent clause or simple sentence and adding a dependent clause to it, a phrase that is either missing a subject or a predicate. So we have a complete thought, a complete sentence. We are adding an incomplete thought, something that is either missing the subject or the predicate, and we are adding them together to make a new type of sentence. Complex sentence combines a complete thought, an independent clause, and an incomplete thought, a dependent clause, to form a complete thought. So before, when we did compound sentences, you could use conjunctions like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so, or fanboys. With complex sentences, you do not use coordinating conjunctions. You use what are called subordinating conjunctions. And here is a big list of them. You can't fit them into an acronym. There's actually a lot of them. So we are going to be using these. You can use these in your discussion post this week because you'll be asked to write a series of complex sentences. And these are some of the conjunctions you can use that are going to combine the half of your sentence that's a complete sentence by itself with the subject and predicate to the part that could not stand on its own, that does not have a subject or does not have a predicate. Let's look at some examples of this. I think it'll make it easier for you to understand. So, first it says, because I woke up late, I was in a rush and forgot to brush my teeth. So, right away, I see that I was in a rush and forgot to brush my teeth. That's the independent clause. That is a simple sentence that could stand alone, even without this phrase at the beginning. This phrase at the beginning is dependent because the rest of the sentence doesn't need it to be complete. It's just dependent on the rest of the sentence. What you'll notice is I do have a comma here. How you use commas in complex sentences is to separate your dependent clause from your independent clause. It is separating the part of your sentence that isn't a whole sentence from the part of your sentence that is. So, because I woke up late, comma, I was in a rush and forgot to brush my teeth. You'll notice that if you read the sentences aloud to yourself, the commas are also occurring where you would naturally pause. So in this case, this dependent phrase, this because I woke up late, right, which is missing its predicate. We know the beginning because I woke up late, but it leaves you asking what? Because I woke up late, what? So we know that that can't be a sentence by itself. So it's dependent. Anyway, because I woke up late, it's being an introductory phrase. It's introducing you to the main point or to the main action of the sentence. So we are going to separate it by a comma. Because I woke up late, comma, I was in a rush and forgot to brush my teeth. Because I forgot to brush my teeth, comma, I had really bad breath. It's almost like a cause and effect, and you are separating the cause and effect with a comma. Since no one had an opinion, I made an executive decision on where to eat. Again, I have my dependent clause, since no one had an opinion, because that isn't a sentence by itself. It needs this independent clause. I made an executive decision on where to eat. I is the subject, and then made an executive decision on where to eat would be the predicate. So we have our independent clause, our dependent clause, and we are separating them with a comma. As I expected, breakfast was delicious because Michael is a biscuit and gravy master. As I expected is an introductory phrase. It's a dependent clause, and we separate it from the rest of the sentence because I couldn't just say as I expected, period. That wouldn't be a whole sentence. So you are taking a phrase that can't stand by itself plus a phrase that can stand by itself as a sentence, and you are combining them using a comma. Although she disliked sports, comma, she attended the basketball game. Oh, I forgot a period at the end of that one. Bonus points if you caught that. Oh, although she disliked sports, she attended the basketball game because her son was playing. I missed that part. When she realized she had forgotten her wallet, comma, Jessica didn't stop to buy Mountain Dew, which set the tone for the rest of the day. In this case, I'm using a secondary, this is a very complex sentence, because when she realized she forgot her wallet is dependent, which set the tone for the rest of the day is dependent, and Jessica didn't stop to buy Mountain Dew is independent. So in this case, I'm extending my sentence by adding another dependent clause with the correct subordinating conjunction and a comma.